Hello my friends, I'm Delta, and we are officially halfway through my Tank Transformers reviews. If you haven't watched the first two videos, these are what I've reviewed. I've reviewed a Bumblebee Shockwave and the Universal Monsters collaboration, Frankentron. So effectively, a mad scientist at his creation. If you've watched the last video, I made a comment about teasing the next review, and that would be a triple changer who turns into a tank. Now, you don't need me to explain who this will be, and if you do, then either you're new or you just forgot who the character is. And whoever you are thinking, it's not that, because we're reviewing Scourge. Yes, I, in my infinite amount of glory and wisdom, have said I'm not reviewing Blackwing today. I'll do it in the next video. Now, the reason why I've got Scourge here, and yes, this is Scourge. Specifically, this is the Robots in Disguise 2001 version of him. A lot of people will say he looks like Nemesis Prime. He is Nemesis Prime. They just changed his name for no reason. No, I don't know the reason why. It's done. They're the exact same looking character. It's just they have different names. Here's the thing. This is meant to be a video about tank transformers. Actual tanks. The reason why I've got Scourge here is because technically he is a tank. Because he turns into a tanker truck. You see the tank? Turns into a tank. It's a shit pun, and I'm getting away with it because it's my video. So, the toy itself, it is pretty big. I've already done the size comparisons, but just to fully drive home the point, Shockwave is a core class that can't stand up. It comes to around his knee, halfway through his thigh. You have Frankentron, my last review, and he comes up to the chest. So Frankentron is taller than the deluxe class, making him a Voyager. It doesn't say that anywhere on his box. I've looked, it does not say Voyager anywhere. He is just the size of a Voyager. And Scourge here is a leader class. Now, if you haven't seen Robots in Disguise 2001, and there's a reason why I'm saying that, because they made another one in 2015. I don't know why they just didn't give it a different name. God knows why. But in the show, he was a protoform who scanned a tanker truck alongside Optimus Prime, giving him this look. A little bit of backstory for this specific toy. It is based on the Laser Optimus Prime from G2, from what I remember. There's 3 different versions of the toy. You have base Optimus Prime, you have RID 2001 Scourge, and then you have Toxitron, who I definitely want to get. It's going to be the exact same toy as this, so no matter which one I get, it's going to be the exact same process of transforming. The difference is, the Toxitron one was cancelled. He never got a full release until the one they made a couple years ago with this mold. It's something I found out that I don't think a lot of people will know. You can actually flip up his truck tits, and now you do need something small, so a little Lego sword. You just jab it into his nipples, and then you can pull out his heart. Having a removable matrix, it is a really nice little thing, beautifully sculpted, beautifully painted, and you can just leave him without a heart, which you can't see well because, there you go, he does not have a heart anymore, but that just fits right back in, and then you can close it up. Tabs him beautifully. Another thing you can do is, on either side of the massive truck fenders, you can flip up his missile pods. Yes, my setup is god awful, to show things like this. I'm sorry, but I will say he has a beautiful colour to it, like this kind of strawberry red colour to the actual plastic is really lovely. The black looks nice. We have this metallic teal. You cannot go wrong with that. Head sculpt is really, really posable. It's actually got a really nice full rotation at the waist. Okay. He has actual light piping in his eyes, and you know that is always most appreciated. You've got these little flappy things, and they just flip up, and you can move the arm as high as it can go. You can swivel. Hands are on, you know, rotation. Unfortunately, not a ball joint. It's a bit annoying. And you've got leg articulation. You can actually bend at the knee. Surprisingly, he actually has a pivot that you can't see because it's black plastic. Pivot. Similar to Metroplex. It is usable, but it feels more situational than anything. Technically, you can count these as a rotation as well because, you know, they're wheels, but when I go into this, just how it is. He does have some really beautiful painting on him. Like if he didn't come with the trailer and he was like $30, I'd still say, yeah, get him. He's a good price. The figure itself is nice. You've actually got weapons that, if you want to, which are a little bit annoying to unplug, they can go together to make a bigger sword. Now, to get to the part that actually warrants this being in the tank part, his battle station. It's got a little flap there, you can't really see. You've actually got a decently like a decent rotation here. Got a weird arm that just barely does anything. I guess you can make it hold the sword, but you can't make him hold the sword. Little top turret you can actually rip off. Turns to like a tiny little gun. Scourge can actually hold into his hand. You can't see it too well, but can you see it well? Hold it like that. Yeah, plugs into his hand. It's a stable connection, but it's black plastic on black plastic. My camera hates black plastic. You're going to hear me complain about black plastic a lot. You can take whatever this is supposed to be, like an axe or something, flip it up there, and along with a sword who has tiny little pegs onto it, inside the battle station you can plug them right into it. And that comes weapon storage, which you always love to see. Now, when it comes to the actual transformation, it's relatively simple. You just grab this and flip this up all the way, swivel this, fold that down, just bring that up, just get out of the way, flip up the little panel, and then these parts fold together. That all tabs in, that goes together. And here we have the fully built tanker. See, it fits. It's a tanker. What's in the name? Tank. Some people are going to get so mad at me for using this technical loophole to talk about this toy, but hey, it's my video, whatever. Rolls relatively well. Like, here's the thing, plastic wheels never work well. I've said this in the I was going to say Toxtron. I said this in the Frankenstein review. Plastic wheels on plastic parts never work unless they have a metal pin or anything metal helping them rotate. Now, when it comes to Scourge, transforming him is a bit more involved, and you can barely see anything because, you know, it's black plastic on a camera that can't pick it up. So we start with the hand, you rip them open, you fold in the fists, close it up, and do it on both sides. what I like to do is flip up these little wing parts and then completely remove them to be like this. It just makes it easier to do everything. Then tap the feet together, fold the feet down, and then flip these parts off the legs and effectively twist it around, and that's the legs complete until we actually get everything else done. You open up his chest, pull down the cab, this little part here you flip down, then you grab his head, pull it around, rip out his arms. What I recommend doing now is twisting the arms 180 like this, see, like that, and that should get enough clearance to go into the cab. Then we flip down these parts, keeping the body up, pull the chest into itself, you have to make sure everything's more or less lined up so it can sit flush against this little part. That should be good. And then these parts up here will tab together. Flip these parts down, and that's pretty much the front of the truck done. You just need to flip the cab up. There. Now you have to move the pelvis all the way touching the fake chest and rotate the legs up, and that should allow you to tab these parts in, make a solid connection. Fold the arms down, they just tab into the parts we flipped out, and then you rip open his thighs, and that is the truck mode complete. It is deceptively simple, relatively so. He is a really small, compact truck. What I love is with the tanker, you flip that down, he's got a little peg there that plugs into the back, and you have the full truck. Him turning into a tanker truck is really nice. Now, obviously, people are going to get antsy with me saying this isn't a tank. Tanker, again, tanker. Name, clues in the name. Legal loophole. Thank you, English majors, for siding with me on this one. Going on to the size comparisons. With Shockwave, he's really tiny compared to the truck. Arguably, if a kid had one of those electric push cars, like, you know the ones I'm talking about, you know, the Barbie looking ones you can give kids, this would be the child's equivalent if it was a tank. It's small, it's compact. Getting on to Frankentron, however, he's a pretty sizable tank, almost as big, you know, height-wise. Although when it comes to the tanker itself, tanker's a bit taller. Now, hopefully, even though this is meant to be a joke video, it's still part of the 5 videos I'm doing of tanks. I just want an excuse to talk about Scourge, because Robots in Disguise 2001 is a really good show. If you haven't seen, they're doing a new Skybite figure, which when it gets released, 100% I'm doing a review on that. Because Skybite is one of my favourite characters, just because of how dumb he is. Scourge is a really interesting character, and in general, this entire toy is amazing, and I just wanted an excuse to show it off. Also, it was expensive, and I had to have a reason to show to people why you shouldn't spend your money on a lot of expensive toys. I'm living proof. I'm in debt. I'm missing a kidney. So hopefully this is somewhat informative, if not interesting. Now, in the Frankentron review, I did promise I'd do a triple changer tank, and I intend to keep it. Blitzwing is next. Probably my favourite toy. So stay tuned for Blitzwing, and hopefully, you know, that video is good. I mean, it's going to be twice as long maybe, because he's a triple changer. I have to transform him 3 fucking times. Oh god, I have to change 3 times. Fuck me!